Hi, Tampa Native Show fans. Mario Nunez here. We're ready for a brand new season of the Tampa Native Show. If it's Thursday night and it's 7 o'clock, it's got to be the Tampa Native Show. Now, we want to remind you that baseball season is in full swing. And you know, on Mother's Day, May 12th, we've got a big event planned, suite, catered event. And by suite, I mean we've got a private suite. So make sure to be there with us. Tickets available right now. You've come to the right place, and this sure is the right time because the Tampa Native Show starts right now.
Otra vez. Come here. Let me say something. I remember Tampa, the way she used to be, the places we would run to, the faces we would see. Yes, I remember Tampa, those precious memories. A city rising on the move, a simple yet progressive groove. I remember Tampa, and she remembers me. Yeah. She remembers me.
Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Stay tuned now for the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Live from the studios at TBCN, the home of the Tampa Native Show. Join your hosts, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella, as they celebrate growing up in Tampa. From Shock Armstrong to Shakey's Pizza, from Braddock Street to Buffalo Avenue. Get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And now, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella.
She remembers me.
Welcome back, Tampa Native Show fans, to this another exciting season of the Tampa Native Show. My name is Mario Nunez, and as always, I'm seated alongside my broadcast partners,
Sally Nunez,
our very own 15-Minute Girl, and just to her left,
Steve Canella,
a.k.a. Tampa Steve, also known as the IT guy. That's Tampa Steve right over there.
IT department.
He's got a lot of fun things to report tonight, and just before we get to our special in-studio guest, which most of you know by now, is the one, the only Tampa native and extraordinary good guy, Ricky Gallen. And he's sitting right next to me, but he's going to be there for just a couple of minutes while we get through a couple of items at the top. I want to remind you that on May the 12th, this Mother's Day, a very special event, which we mentioned at the top of the show, a suite at Tropicana Field. You know, the Rays are playing now, baseball is here, and even though it didn't feel like it too much outside, spring has sprung, and baseball season is again in full swing. So join us. We want you to be there with us. It's going to be a very wonderful and special Mother's Day. IT guy, we understand you've got some news from the IT front. Tell us a little bit about what you've been working on, and by the way, kudos to Big Steve for putting that little compilation together. Hopefully last week you were with us when we did our show. We weren't here in studio, but we did do a compilation best of, and Stevie, tell us about that.
that compilation, by the way, that can be seen, or I should say will be seen by the end of this weekend up on tampanativeshow.com, so be sure to check that out. I'll put a special link there for you. As far as news goes with the IT department, which is me here, by the way.
Big Steve.
Got some great story.
Steve.
Thanks to Marilyn and Anthony Messina last week, they sent us a picture of the Lake Ellen diving board. If y'all, I'm sure some of you remember diving off that platform. It was really, really high. It looks like about 25 feet high. Got an amazing picture they sent me. Posted that on Facebook, and the response on Facebook has been absolutely overwhelming. In fact, using Facebook nomenclature, you didn't think I could say that word, did you?
No, I don't know
good.
what that means, but
Impressive.
you're going to get a bell on nomenclature, by the way.
Using Facebook terms, that one photo generated this much activity. It generated 135 shares, Facebook lingo, 162 comments. I took stats today.
Very nice.
320 likes, and get this, 13,600 views on that
Wow.
one photo alone. Isn't that incredible?
That tells a story. That tells us how many people are checking out our stuff.
That and how many people used to go swimming in Lake Ellen,
Yes.
too.
And
Yeah.
remember that platform. It was kind of far away from where we lived, but we do remember hearing about it. It was something mystical, it was something magical, and almost dangerous, because you heard about the Lake Ellen diving board or the Lake Ellen platform.
Lake Ellen.
Lake Ellen in general. And Lake Ellen was synonymous with that picture,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yes.
So that picture brought it into full swing. I made a note while you were talking there. So now, Steve Cannell is also known as Tampa Steve, the IT guy, and as of a
Big
moment ago,
Steve.
Stat guy.
And Big Steve.
And Big Steve. I like Big
Steve.
Steve
Hey, that's
too.
right.
I don't, maybe
Okay.
Big Tampa
I
Steve
need
will be
another
his
name,
new.
too.
Talking about nomenclature.
I need
Hey,
some-
girl.
I need some more,
All right now. Listen, we
more
are
domain
going
names.
to take calls tonight, okay? But we want to make sure that we let you know we're going to get through a little bit of the Ricky Gallen story before we open up our phone lines. So be patient with us. We've got some photographs we want to show you, and Ricky's got his story to tell as well. Guys, anything else we need to get to just before we get started? We want to say, of course, thank you to our sponsors, without whom we wouldn't be here. Our sponsors, whom are always there for us, and we thank you. And those of you out there that are yet to be sponsors, we're going to come see you pretty soon. So, checkbooks at the ready, because, well, quite honestly, we need your help.
We do.
All right. So, why don't we do this? Let's talk a little bit about this fellow that's going to be joining us here. Very tall,
Yes.
Yes.
very handsome,
And very
Yes.
nice.
and very nice.
Very
okay?
sweet man.
And supremely talented. And one thing you knew when you were at Jefferson High School, and I was a sophomore when Ricky was a senior, when you were at Jefferson, first of all, hard for him to hide in the hallways. Okay?
Yeah, anywhere, really.
7 feet tall, big afro, and I'm not sure if Ricky wore platforms because he didn't really need them back then. But it was 1973, so let's be honest. He might have had
Everybody wore
them.
'em back then.
Nicest guy you could imagine, and what I remember the most, we'll talk about in just a couple of minutes, was opening day of the basketball season, his senior year. Everybody was there. It was an event. The media was all over it. The scouts were all over it. The gym, which was brand new school, packed to the rafters. And as a sophomore, you had to be there, school spirit. Ricky laid 52 on those Chamberlain Chiefs. And if I'm not mistaken, we only scored 54. I think Leroy Staley had the other 2 points.
Wow.
All right. That said, bring up that 4 shot. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear friend and a wonderful Tampa native, somebody who's been working very hard with the young boys and the young girls here in Tampa for a great little while, thanks to Mr. Glenn Permui and the boys clubs of Tampa. Ricky, brother, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having
Welcome.
me.
an
What
honor
a
having
treat.
you.
What a
Truly
treat to
privilege.
have you. Thank you.
Privilege and an honor. Thank you so much for having me here.
How's it been, Ricky? How's things been for you? Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, and we'll go back and turn back the clock and show some pictures of little Ricky in a minute, but
Oh my
catch
gosh.
us up to date.
Well, I've been back home now about 18 years.
Okay.
I'm currently working with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa Bay. I'm currently director of community relations.
Okay.
But as a kid, I started out with the Boys Club. I'm sure you know something about that too. And under Coach Glenn, Mr. Pimui, Mr. Owen, and all
Yes.
those guys. And from that was my humbling, I like to say, upcoming, and got a chance to do some fantastic things with those people around me. Incredible coaches, learned a lot of lessons on and off the court. So it's
Boys
been
clubs
just,
were a vital part of our lives
it
growing
sure
up.
was, it sure is.
There was also the network of City of Tampa Recreation Playgrounds,
That's right.
which we had the good opportunity to be able to do kind of intersocial things. You know, when we played flag football, if there wasn't a playground close by, sometimes we'd travel over there to West
right.
Tampa and we'd play against West Tampa.
That's so true. And also, in my situation, I'm the eldest of 3 boys. My dad had us be a part of the PAL Football League. But I didn't play any football, but I learned to box. So that's probably something you didn't know.
Wow.
No. Listen,
live right
yes,
behind
we're
you.
going to ring that bell. There's
right
something we
behind
didn't know.
PAL.
I'm going to ask
Yeah.
favor of our technical staff in the booth to turn down the volume in the booth. We can hear you. If there's an open mic in there, thank you. There was a little bit of a feedback in our earpieces. I'm sorry, did I hear Ricky say that he learned to box?
Boxing.
The PL.
And the PL.
How'd that work out for you, Rick? 'Cause
Who did you box against?
Well, at that time I was a little guy, and so in most situations the coaches had me box for guys who were a little bit older than me,
Yeah.
closer to my size,
Yeah.
and that was really good for me because I always felt a little bit, off teeter
Yes.
being so much taller than everybody
Yeah,
else.
sure.
So that was a real good thing for me. It built my confidence.
Yeah.
Kind of gave me a little feeling of belonging, and it was really cool learning to box from some of those guys with the police office.
That's awesome.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the
I would've
PAL
never
that
guessed
was
that.
over there.
Yeah.
Well, they had the football league that was
Yeah.
out there on Sly and Roman Slide,
Roman
right?
Slide, right behind
Roman
there, yeah.
Slide.
Right.
Steve Garvey
So
Field.
wow,
That's
Rick,
great.
there you go. Right, take notes, guys. Take notes.
Multi-talent.
And I did Taekwondo as a not a child, but later in the years in my 20s and 30s. But I saw how it affected children too.
Yeah.
It did build confidence, as
Yeah.
you said.
Sure.
The martial arts, boxing, that kind of thing. And I think I guess you can agree that would it propel them in their future, their whole life, would be building that foundation, you know?
Yeah.
The discipline, the structure,
Sure.
the goal setting.
Confidence.
Because I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it, but it's not a whole lot of fun getting hit in the face.
No.
Whether you got boxing gloves on or not. I mean, you know, you put on the gloves and you start throwing the hands and you think, yeah, I got this. Float like a butterfly, sting
Yeah.
like a bee.
Yeah.
And then you go, bam! You get a hit in the hand, you go, okay, my head hurts. I got to sit down for a minute because I don't really want to do this no more. You know, it was a good idea until you get that first shot in the chops.
Can't imagine.
A good foundation, though.
But
No,
basketball.
no, basketball.
Any baseball in there mixed in?
Yeah, actually, the first team sport I played was baseball.
Okay.
I
It
was
usually is, right?
first baseman with we call ourselves the CC Reds out in Carver City.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first opportunity to play a team sport. I loved it, but my strike zone was just way too long. I could never get a hit off, and it was just way too much area for guys to throw strikes. But it was a lot of fun, and myself and a lot of the kids in that area, we played with that league and the one that was in Lincoln Gardens.
Tell us about your childhood buddies. Drop a few names on them,
Oh,
man, 'cause
well-
they might be out there watching now.
That
you
would be
you don't want to
great.
leave nobody out.
Oh my gosh, I
Childhood buddies.
don't know where to start at. As a little kid, I have a lot of good friends because we grew up in that area. It was a lot of bush and stuff, so we
Sure.
kind of considered that to be the jungle. So we did a lot of
Okay.
exploring and messing around out in the woods. So say Leroy Staley, Alan Denson, Steve Stevenson. Oh my gosh! And then as I got a little bit older, I played ball with a lot of the older guys that were from the high schools. You
Sure.
know, Clay Reed and a few other guys like that. They took good care of us as little guys. You know, we'd come on the court, and some of the guys who didn't know us anything, they take our ball and throw it across the field. But they'd always choose Leroy, myself, and Hubert Smith to play with them. And we were younger, so we felt really honored.
Sure.
And that was like the beginning of a very big career for a lot of us.
Wasn't that what made
Nice.
Tampa so special, Ricky?
Yeah.
Because really and truthfully, we kind of talk about this from time to time. When we had those playgrounds, we had the boys club. There was always a park director there.
Yeah.
A boys club director. So you know, you could go there. It was a safe zone for
It
us.
sure was.
We could play. And even if there were big kids around, the directors would never let them bully us too much.
No,
You know, there was always a little bit of back and forth, but when it came down to it, we were always, you know, taking.
You felt safe, and the guys kind of looked after you and kind of brought you through
Right.
and called the ropes and stuff. We had a lot of fun. I really look back on my childhood now. As I was going through it, I really realized what a great childhood and how many people's shoulders I have been standing on to get to where I am today.
Man.
And
I
how
love that.
apropos that where you are today.
Exactly.
Yeah, and look at where he's working, huh?
Thank you.
Full circle. And no better representative.
Yes,
No
yeah.
better representative. Tell us a little bit about your immediate family. You got your brothers, mom and dad.
Right.
Where were your mom and dad from? Were they Tampa natives as well? Let's talk a little bit.
Actually, my family's from a little place up in the northern Florida called Madison.
Okay.
And I was born in Monticello,
All right.
Florida. So that's
Tallahassee
myself,
way.
that's right. And then it's my brother Ronnie. He was born in Madison. And then we moved down here to Tampa, where Russell was born. You probably remember Russell.
Sure.
And from there, we started our school years. My mom and dad, my mom worked as a nurse and RN at Tampa General for many years. And my dad was to be GT back in the day.
Right.
As a cableman.
Sure.
And as a little kid, it was really cool because every once in a while we get a chance to go into his bag and we'd find these little pieces of colored wire.
Oh.
And we'd make the
All
little
day
men,
long.
the little
Yeah,
crosses.
yeah.
You remember.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, we see, yeah.
So I've been very, very blessed. My family's always been behind me 100%. My parents were married at a young age, so for me, my dad was more like a brother than my dad a lot of times. Like strictly disciplined, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But I always felt really, really close to him and my mom having that difference in ages.
How wonderful.
LaSalle Street now. Look at that picture right there.
Oh,
Talk a little bit about that young fella. I like the car too, but
I
tell
do
us
too,
where that was
yeah.
taken. And
That
how old
was-
were you there?
That was when we were in Madison, Florida. My uncle, Junior, who had taken me out for the first time, I had just learned to start walking. I think I was about 11, 12 months.
Yeah.
You can see the little bow legs already starting. I think that came from starting to walk too early. But it was a great times up
It
in
didn't
Madison.
stunt your growth at all, man. I think you were about
Yeah, I know,
5'3" there.
You look pretty hefty there.
What kind of car was that?
I'm not sure, but I was born in
Like a
50,
Plymouth, man. That's
57.
old. Yep.
I was born in 57, so that has to be a 56,
56 Plymouth, man.
56 or 55 Plymouth.
For our car aficionados out there, somebody send us an email, show at Tampa Natives, and tell us what car that was. Okay, Ricky.
This one is when my parents were trying to pursue a better career, so they went to New York. We were up in New York for a while, a place called Rochester, New York. As a little kid, I remember looking out the window and saying, Rochester. But I loved it up there as a little kid. We stayed there for a while. My brother Ronnie and I, we grew up there, and my mom dressed us up in our little vests with our little ties.
How
And,
cute.
and we both took pictures on the little sofa there. I was really tiny.
Little Ricky looking good. Now, you know what else was in Rochester, right?
Oh, boy.
What was in Rochester, guys? Kodak, home of the Kodak?
camera.
Corporation?
Oh,
is
you're
that what it
right.
was?
Uh-huh,
They were.
camera. Everybody worked.
Come on, man. Y'all knew
That's
that.
right, that's right.
Y'all
I
knew
didn't, I
that.
honestly
I'm going to give
didn't.
myself a belt. Go ahead, Ricky. Tell us about this guy.
Now, you all remember picture day.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
So this is my fourth grade picture day. And you probably can't see it here, but I was awful because I had like a little fever blister on my nose, and I just knew everybody in the world was going to see it.
Oh, no.
And I didn't want to take a picture. My mom said, "No, you'll be fine. I'll do this and do that." But yeah, that's my fourth grade class picture.
Before Photoshop.
Yeah, way before.
Yeah, because, back then, now they can take everything out. They can make
Yeah,
you look
they do.
perfect now.
Yeah, I was very, very cautious of that. My
And
dad.
where'd you go to school in fourth grade?
Fourth grade, I went to Roland Park.
Roland Park,
Roland Park
Elementary. So what were
Elementary.
we going to say about your daddy? I'm sorry I cut you off right
No,
there.
my dad used to cut our hair. So
Oh.
I was always a little guy like, Pop, not too much off there and a little bit
Looks
off
like
of
he
here.
gave you a good cut.
Oh,
Good job.
Dad's very good. He was
Yeah.
very good. He took care of us, kept us nice and neat.
It's nice.
West
Very
Tampa, the
nice.
heart of West Tampa.
Yeah.
Well, we found out before the show, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't know this prior to, but Ricky and I probably grew up, I won't say half a mile from each other, I'll say feet from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's amazing.
I was on West Cass just on, I was 4110 West Cass, Ricky was 4105 LaSalle. And it went Cass, Lemon, then there was Grace, LaSalle,
Arch.
and Arch. And it was all right in there. And I asked him, important question. All right, Ricky, so it was LaSalle, and it was, were you east or west of Dale Mabry?
Yeah.
And he said, no, I was west of Dale Mabry. And I said, come on, man, by the big ditch,
By the
by
big
Conley's Marina right there.
Yeah, there you go.
We were that close all along, and your brothers too, for that
Yeah,
matter.
sure, well, the whole family.
So,
We all had ditches back then.
well,
Huge
no, but
ditch.
this one,
was a huge ditch.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
was the
we
one
had
that's
one in
still
our
there
neighborhood,
currently.
too, yeah.
It's more like a retention
Yeah.
ditch that after the interstate was
Yeah.
built,
Yeah.
it was left there for whatever reason, I guess,
Right.
to handle the runoff
Right,
and all
right.
that good
Yeah.
stuff. So we're at about 7:20 past the hour. We're going to open up the phone lines in just a minute, so stay tuned. Don't jump to the phone just yet. 7:20 past the hour. Remember, when you call in tonight, if you have a question or a comment of Ricky, this would be a great time to ask. And don't forget to leave us your Bolita number, because tonight we're giving away 15-minute Girl. If you'll go ahead and hold up that bottle right there, courtesy of, thank you for that camera switch, courtesy of Joe and Sons Olive Oils and Marilyn Messina. Winner tonight is going to get one small bottle
Yeah.
of delicious, your choice, infused balsamic vinegar or olive oil. I'm just going to leave it at that. 'cause
And there
it's
aren't any
delicious.
bad ones, so you can't make a
No, there's not a
mistake.
bad one in the house. So make sure when you call up tonight, you give us your Bolita number.
And speaking of Bolita, we have one already.
We do.
Really?
So, by the way, this is a very interactive show, Ricky, and we get emails for Bolita numbers. And this one here is from Joe Abini and Keith Abini. And we know the
Okay,
numbers
I
already.
know
Joe
the
and Keith,
numbers.
3 and 7, and they said have a great show, and thank you very much.
Thank you,
Cool.
Joe, and
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you, Keitha. Show at tampanatives.com, because if you can't get in on the phone lines or you're just too embarrassed to hear your voice on TV, call us.
And don't be embarrassed.
Email
Yeah,
us.
send our IT guy.
Yeah, there
Big
you go.
Tampa Steve. He's got a new nickname tonight. Big Tampa. Send him an email.
I have too many nicknames
You
already.
do.
Ricky,
I need another one.
so we started. When did you realize? At about what time did you realize, man, this thing is going crazy? Now I'm in the 6th grade. I'm about 6 feet tall. I can't keep shoes on my feet.
Oh, wow.
Mama's yelling at me because every other week we got to go get some new clothes.
That's right.
And then you thought, well, I kind of like this basketball thing. When did you realize you might have had a knack for it, or did you grow into it?
Well, it kind of happened just like you said. The Boys and Girls Club was a big piece of that. My dad used to take us out with him, and we'd shoot, in the hoops, and we stay on the playground with my
Sure.
dad, my brothers, and other kids would join in, and we'd play ball and stuff, and Papa kind of helped kids, with their jump shots. And then I started to realize that, I'm pretty good at this. I'm making most of mine, and I like somebody take a shot, I could just swat it out of the air. So I got a chance to meet Mr. Glenn, Coach Glenn. I'll always call him that because
Yeah.
he'll always be coach for me. And he had us up in the club, myself, Leroy, and Steve, and a few others. And I tell you, when we first stepped in the club, we thought we were coming there to play basketball, but Coach kind of set us down and started talking about life and goals and different things that we need to start looking at. As a little kid, at that age, 10, 11 years old, you're pretty impressionable. So
Sure,
you start
yeah.
thinking about what they're saying, and you really want to be a part of it. And tried out for the team, made the Boys and Girls Club, the boys team back then, and I was just ecstatic, so excited, because at school, when I was going over at West Tampa, any of the kids, we all wore their little name things from the Boys and Girls Club. You
Sure.
had your little tag,
Sure, I
the
remember.
little chains, and all the kids used to wear them so much that some of us had little rashes around our necks because we wouldn't take them off. We wore them all the time.
That's beautiful. That's
cute.
beautiful.
Yeah, I started to realize that I definitely had a pretty good game, and Coach worked with us with the fundamentals and really got us to understand the game, not just run up and down the court.
That's good.
Excellent. Well, as it would
expected.
happen from time to time, we've already got our first caller in the new season.
How about that?
In the new season, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, Ricky, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, Ricky, here we go. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Leroy Staley.
Excuse me, could you repeat that, sir?
This is Leroy Staley of Pearl, Mississippi.
Oh, there he is. All right. And I assume you're a first-time caller. Is that correct, Mr. Staley?
Yes, sir. I want the bell.
You just got it, and you're going to get another one. There you go. He wants the
You got
bell.
two bells.
Hi, Leroy. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Are you watching us tonight? Can you get that feed over there where you are?
No, I can't get it here.
Okay, well,
too
listen,
bad.
we're going to work on that. We thought we might have had a little bit of a problem earlier today. We thought it might have been corrected. If you're not getting it, don't worry, because this will be up on the website here probably by this weekend. We've got some really wonderful technical staff, and they're going to make sure that this gets up there, which is just as well because sometimes there's a little bit of a delay. So if you're watching this, it's kind of hard to have that conversation. But look, here's your good buddy. Here's Ricky Gallen right here. Tell him what you told us you were going to tell him on the air.
Ricky, I got to tell you this, man. You don't realize how much of an inspiration you have been to all of us because when you were playing in the NCAA tournament in '75, and I ended up having a dream that I was going to be playing with a team that had sky blue and white uniforms, and considering that you guys were playing UCLA, I was thinking I was going to UCLA. Well, come to find out, I ended up going to Indiana State with sky blue and white uniforms, and I always said I wanted to do a game better than you. That was my inspiration. And guess what? I got that game better than you, but we both lost the final game.
Is that amazing?
That is amazing.
Is that amazing?
Great story.
Yeah.
Great story, Leroy. Thank you so much for sharing that. You guys had some wonderful memories. We talked a little bit, you and I, on the phone about that wonderful, magical Ricky's senior year where you guys went to Jacksonville and ran into that buzzsaw of a team out of Miami that had those two brothers from the Bahamas, and it later came to find out that their birth certificates had a little problem. It turns out those guys were about 25. It's no wonder we lost that game. We had the best team in the state, and we should have won it all, but it just didn't turn out that way.
Yeah,
That's true.
You remember that game pretty well?
Yeah, I remember. We lost to Mike and Charles Thompson.
That's right.
Cecil Rose, Julio DeVille.
That's right.
Yeah.
You don't forget games like that, man, especially when you're 16, 17 years old and you're in the state finals, and those things kind of stick with you for your whole life.
Yeah, it really does. That was really a big stepping stone for us because we didn't think we were going to get that far, but, considering with Ricky and everybody that played together, I mean, we were pretty much destined until we ran up against some grown men.
Yeah, with children and people at school and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I remember, because we were talking about it, maybe I'll ask Ricky too, wasn't there an incident, Ricky, that involved JT, John Trigg, that was going up to block a shot and somebody took his legs out from under him?
Right.
And I remember when, his head hit the court and we were sitting where I was sitting in the nosebleed seats in the Jacksonville Arena, made a really, really bad sound, and we were never quite the same after that. JT, we needed him, and it almost cost us the game. I think it did, in fact. You remember that?
Oh, I sure do.
Was he blocking the shot, or was he driving and they cut his legs out?
It looks like he got his legs cut from under him, from my memory. But John and the rest of the Trigg family were awesome athletes, especially football and basketball. And Trigg could take a hit and could deliver too.
Oh, so sure he could.
For him to have to receive something like that, you knew it was something not so kosher going on.
And Steve Stevens was on that team
That's
too.
right.
We forget about that.
Yeah, we called Steve Quay back in those
Stevie
days.
Quay. You Herbert was on the team
That's
too.
right.
You had Pat McDonald who played a role.
That's right.
Joe T was on there, and
Reuben.
and Anthony Washington
right.
was on that team too. Boy, that I went to
Ken
graduated
Stedham.
with.
Ken Stedham, all the guys.
And that was Coach Clay, was it not?
That's Coach Clay and Coach Paula. I owe him so
Coach
much.
Paula.
So much. In your life when you grow up and you get a chance, I know Leroy can attest to this, you get a chance to be under so many fantastic people, you don't get a chance to tell them what a great thing they've done for you or how they put you on the right track. And Coach Clay and Coach Paula, Coach Cuesta, and all those guys done so much for us to keep us in line and let us know that we had a future and that we could do better than what we could have ever imagined.
Well, and there it is right
put.
there. You just said it for all
Yep.
posterity. Leroy, thank you so much for calling us, man. We appreciate you. Look, hurry home, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there next year.
I know you are. We'll be celebrating once you do. Now, before you go, give us your lucky number between 1 and 75.
You know it's got to be 44.
Attaboy.
You got it.
Thank you, Leroy. Thanks for calling, man. We're here every Thursday night, so if you get a chance, look in on us from time to time.
Will do. You take care, Ricky.
All right, you too, man. God bless. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye-bye. That's good
Great
stuff.
call.
That's
That's
good
really
stuff.
good stuff.
That's the essence of what we do here at the Tampa Native Show. And you know, I know the temptation is when you're hearing that disembodied voice coming out of the telephone to kind of address the telephone. And I had to tell Ricky, he didn't see me, but I was pointing at the camera.
Everybody does that.
Because I
You
knew
do
what
it,
was coming.
yeah.
I had a sense that Ricky was going to say something that was heartfelt, and especially about his coaches and those that put him on the right path. And I wanted to make sure that he was not looking into the phone at the time, but looking into the camera. And you know, this executive producer has one regret about this week's show, and that's that I didn't reach out to Coach Permui to give us a call. And hopefully, my fingers are crossed that maybe through the universe, somebody's making a call right now to Glenn to tell him to call in, because that would be a special, special call. I know how to get in touch with Frank, and the week got away from me, and I didn't get a chance to. But I have a sneaky suspicion this is just part one of the Ricky Gallen story. Let's see who's on line 5.
Oh.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Roland Percy. I'm calling from Miami.
Hi, Roland. How are you?
I
Roland,
recognize that name.
I know we're friends on
Yeah.
Facebook. We talk from time to time. Is this your first time calling the show?
Yes, it is.
Oh, look at there, man.
Oh,
We're
wow.
off
That
and running.
wasn't very
That's-
loud. You better ring that again.
Another
Oh,
bell.
my.
There you go.
I kind of missed it the first time, but
did.
that's for you, Roland. How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Are you able to watch us tonight by chance?
Actually, yeah, but I came outside, so I won't hear myself talking.
That's a good
Okay.
call. We usually
Yes.
ask people to do that because it gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got Ricky Gallen here. You've got his undivided attention. Anything you want to tell him?
I don't know who Ricky Gallen is.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
Actually, yeah, I wanted to share a memory, my favorite all-time memory of Ricky Gallen. After he left Jefferson High School, he went to Louisville, and I followed his whole career at Louisville. And watching him play, especially his freshman year, he went to the Final Four as a freshman and played in the against John Wooten's then powerhouse UCLA team. They lost in the final second of the game. And a couple of years ago, of course, I had many memories watching Ricky play, following his career at Louisville. But my favorite memory is a couple of years ago. Once in a while, I would travel to Tampa to watch USF play Louisville, so I can watch my beloved Cardinals. I became such an avid fan of Louisville. Actually, my wife would call it more rabid than avid.
There you go.
But she knows that during March and when Louisville's playing, the TV is mine. But my favorite memory was I called Ricky up at the boys' club. It was a couple of years ago, and I wanted to have a lunch with him. So I picked him up at the boys' club, which, by the way, I have to apologize to him because afterwards I realized I should have taken my front seat out of the car. Extra.
Those are some long legs, brother.
Were his knees in his chest?
Fond memories I have of Ricky playing at Louisville. My fondest was having him in the car, and as we were having lunch at Castillo's Cafe that day.
Sure.
And we're driving down through West Tampa, and we started sharing stories about growing up in West Tampa. And he told me the story about Glenn Permui picking him up at he just got out of his car one day, saw these guys walking down the street, and he asked them to join the boys' club, which Glenn was very active in and always has been. And in fact, most of these guys who, if you were part of the West Tampa Boys Club at the time, they stayed there for life.
Sure.
Permui, of course, his brother Frank, Richard Simillian, and so on. So as he was sharing these stories, it was wonderful to know that he was getting back to the same club that started his career. And I found that so admirable, and I wanted to thank you, Ricky, for doing that. That's what made giving back to our communities, what made growing up in West Tampa and the surrounding neighborhood such a special place and a memorable place to grow up in as children.
Roland, you couldn't have said it better. I praise you. Thank you so much. I still think about those evenings, that nice dinner we had with the twins. And as you said, the West Tampa community was a community that raised all of us. They looked out for the kids, each person helped whenever they could. And, it was just a remarkable way to grow up in the community, and I can never repay what the city has done for me. I'm hoping in some small way, by doing some of the things that you and I and these guys here are doing, we can give back somewhat.
I think you
That's
are.
wonderful to hear.
Roland, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your call,
Very
brother.
much.
We just got off the phone with Leroy Staley a moment ago, and I'll mention to you, like I mentioned to him, we're here every Thursday. Look in on us. It's kind of what we try to do here at the Tampa Native Show. Remember those fond memories that we all share, whether it was West Tampa, arguably South Tampa, even Port Tampa, Seminole Heights,
things
Ybor
Tampa.
City.
Tampa.
I mean, it was Tampa at its core, and I think that's what makes our history so special.
Yes.
That we all kind of knew each other and looked after each other. And you said it eloquently, my brother, so thank you for that. Give us your Lucky
Great
Bolita
call.
drawing number before we let you go.
1,006.
You're doing a
Whoa,
magic zero on it.
whoa.
That's great. 1 through 75.
1,156 is the number of points Ricky scored in his career.
All right now.
Roland, you're the man.
There it
He is
is.
the man.
Thanks,
There it
Roland.
is.
Thank you, Roland.
So you said 1,156?
Closest to without going over.
Full
Yeah.
county record.
All right, so 1,100. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 5 is 7, and 6 is 13. We're going to give you 13 because when you add them all up, we get 13. So that's lucky 13 for Roland. Thank you, Roland, for your call.
Thank
That
you.
was wonderful.
That was a good
Thank
call.
you very much.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Papa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Great call. We got a few more emails, by the
Please,
way.
let's go to the emails. But then I want to
Bolita's
call up
numbers?
this video that,
Absolutely.
especially after Roland's call, I think that set up the video quite nicely. You know, one thing we know about Ricky Gallen, yes, he's tall. That's obvious. Extremely talented.
Very
but,
nice.
But probably
That's what I know.
what sets him apart is he's got a golden heart, and he never forgot where he came from. So after his career was finished, and he decided to come home, and now, of course, he's working with the boys' clubs and the girls' clubs. What a great story. I mean, there's a screenplay here waiting to happen, so just bear with us.
Amazing.
Bear
Absolutely.
with us. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, we have Jim Carney, number 44.
44.
Thank you, Jim. And also Ron
Did we have a
Martinez.
44?
I think we,
Already? I
yeah,
think-
44 is taken.
Oh, okay.
Leroy was 44.
How about we give him 45?
Let's give him 45.
Let's
I'm
give him,
giving
okay,
Jim
we'll
Carney
give him,
45.
we'll sign him
Picking the
45.
numbers, Jim. How
there
about
you go. And you may win. Ron Martinez, number 27.
There's
27.
Ronnie
And-
Martinez. Ronnie?
Yeah, Ron sent a note here, by the way, about Frank Permui.
Yes.
He said, just found out that earlier today, Frank had emergency surgery this morning.
Uh-oh.
Also wanted to let everyone know that Frank is doing fine. And he also announced that 2014 will be his last year coaching baseball after 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So that just came across just
Wow.
now. Ron
Okay.
Martinez. Thank you, Ron.
And I venture to guess that he may even have more than 30. You sure it just says 30?
It
Adjust your
says
glasses.
after 30 years,
After
yeah.
30, okay, because I would have really put him at about 35. You know, he's been at it for a good little while, but we hope he's, if he's doing good. Ronnie, thank you for that note. Thoughts and prayers go out to
Absolutely.
Coach. There's another coach, right? Coach
Yeah,
Frank.
there you go.
Coach Frank Bermouy. Any other emails?
Not at this time, no.
Okay.
though.
Send
We're
us an
still-
email,
yep,
guys,
we're still
because we've
waiting.
got some time. We're going to go to a little video now. Ricky, you want to set this video up for us? Do you know which one we're going to show? The one that the award that you received from the Lightning.
Oh, right.
That little clip.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
You want to
wow.
go ahead and tell everybody
Great clip.
what they're about to see?
Well, what you're about to see is the Community Hero Lightning Award from the Tampa Tampa Bay Lightning Foundation, which is amazing, with Jeff and Penny Vinnick. I worked with them. Ever since this has happened through that award, it's just been phenomenal what they've done for us with the Boys and Girls Clubs and other nonprofits in the community. Mr. Vinnick is an amazing person, is very warm and open. What he has done for the city and what I think he will do is going to be phenomenal. We applied for this possibly award, and I was very overwhelming to receive it in the first group. I guess you guys will show it, and you'll see.
And
what it
watch and pay special close attention to what Ricky says in the opening seconds of his commentary. Was not solicited by this cast and crew. Let's give a listen.
I always tell everyone I'm a Tampa native, which is kind of rare. Most people you meet are from here. I went to Jefferson High School. I guess you consider myself a product of what Boys and Girls Clubs and organizations like ours can do if youth get involved and stay with it and stick to the term. As a youth, I was approached by a coach, Mr. Glenn Pimoy, at a very, very young age. I guess you'd say I'd be 5th or 6th grade. A few of us were out playing on the playground, and this gentleman walked up and asked us if we were interested in maybe getting involved in the boys club back in those days. At the age of 10 or 11, I was standing around 6 feet tall, and I guess that kind of led to something else and invited us into the center. We got a chance to go to the club, set us all in the gym and start talking to us about programs and training and our favorite subjects, what we needed help with. And lo and behold, it started a program in those days that was, to us, it was just a kid coach talking to us, but we didn't know that was a program that we run to this very day. And that led to all sorts of wonderful opportunities for me. I got a chance to be in a center with kids and from all races and diverse backgrounds, and kind of taught us tolerance. They always told us to believe in yourselves, work hard, persevere, treat people the way you'd like to be treated. Coach used to always say, he said, don't be yourself, be good. You know, especially when you think nobody's watching. And as a little kid, you hear those things over and over again. It kind of plays around, and you tend to take that in for word, and you try to do it. Well, the need for the Boys and Girls Club is that kids face a lot of very, very difficult choices in lives, and we try to provide them opportunities to deal with that in a very, very orderly way, in a safe environment, by giving them opportunities to maybe experience things they may not normally be able to do. And through the Boys and Girls Club, kids are learned we build on their character, leadership. They're really, really big on making sure that education is a prime thing. Myself being a former athlete, I know how important that is. A lot of kids, I'll ask them, so what do you guys want to do with your life? What do you plan to do when you grow up, plan to go to college? And almost everyone, 1 out of 3 or 3 out of 5 will always say, I want to play professional sports. I'm going to be a professional basketball or football, baseball player. And that's great, but the chances are that actually happens very, very slim. And you don't want to douse their dreams, but you want to make sure they have something realistic. So I think we're very needed to make sure we can give kids the opportunity to grab hold of things that are realistic in life, and maybe get a chance to see people that are around them are doing things that they see every day. It's possible for them to be able to achieve also. So as a form of an incentive, each kid can earn a check, and it may have been $200 to $300 some in Boys and Girls Club bucks. It's not real money, it's like Monopoly money. But at this event, they can buy things with it. And I remember one year we were doing it, and I had a bus of about 50-something, 60 kids, and we get there, and the little kids arrive from 5 to 18 years of age. And the ones who've gone through before, they understand what's going on. They get a chance to come in, they cash their check, and they can shop. But the little ones, we've been talking about it all year. It's so amazing to see them come up to the area that's the cashier, and they put the little check on the counter, and then they show their little name tag, and you give them their money. And being so small, most of them want to try to count their money back to you. So no, you're fine, come on inside. And as they go in, they get a chance to shop and haggle. And what this does, it teaches kids the value of money, how to shop, and they can actually kind of bargain if they get to the right type of person who is behind the counters. So one year I had a little boy, after we had done all this and going through, the kids get bags, they've got bicycles, some kid want a computer, and we're getting on the bus and we're doing the head count. And so I'm standing there and we're doing the head count, and one little kid off to the one side of me, his name was Jabari. So I said, Jabari, did you have fun today? Did you have a good time? He says, Coach, I had a ball. He reaches in his pocket and he says, look how much money I still have. So I said, oh, Jabari, you were supposed to spend that. This was for you, this was an incentive. And he says, no, Coach, I'm gonna take this home. I'm gonna buy my mama dinner. And when he said that, I just said, oh, I was ready to give him my credit card, my checkbook. He got it. He understood that our whole thing is about family and everybody supporting one another. And that's, to me, that's one moment that really stands out when you see a kid that actually gets it.
Well, if you need to take the measure of the man, there it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you need to know about
That's a
Ricky
great
Gallen
story.
and how he feels about kids. And he's a proud father himself, so the legacy just continues. I wanted to talk with Ricky before we moved on a little bit about his college experience, and Roland was good enough to mention the fact that he became a Cardinal fan after Ricky's tenure up there at Louisville. So, Ricky, we kind of went over it real quick, but do you have a fond remembrance, or tell us a little bit what it was like to step on that big stage, play there in front of those Cardinal fans, and play for Denny Crum?
It was truly amazing. I guess Roland and Leroy kind of put it best. When we played in the Final Four in San Diego in '75, we got a chance to play against UCLA. And as a kid, I always looked up to, at that time, Lou Alcindor, who everyone knows today as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right. Sure.
And he was always the kind of guy I wanted to kind of pattern my lifestyle and everything from. So to play against his team and to meet his coach was just phenomenal. And the game was, we thought we had the game won. And as Leroy put it, we lost the game in the last seconds. We had a fantastic point guard, a guy by the name of Terry Howard, who was also a mentor for me to this day. Was perfect free throw shooting for the season. And went up to the line and missed the first one, and everyone was so shocked. We didn't even go for the rebound. And it was a double overtime. I mean, the noise, the crowd, and Mr. Wooden announcing that he was going to retire after that season.
Wow.
I mean, it was like a storybook. And it's the funny thing about things like that is when you're going through it and you're living it, you want to win, you do this and that, but when you think back, I just wish I would have taken in more of the moment.
What great memories, though.
Sure.
Exactly.
But you're a kid and you're living it, so
Yeah.
it's hard to get perspective at that moment.
At that moment. But when I look back on it, I wouldn't have changed it. It's
pretty special.
It's very special. Thank you.
Wow.
You mentioned the impact that your coaches had on your life, and it makes you wonder or think about how much influence we have on others as well, without even knowing it, possibly. But like you're doing now with the Boys and Girls Club, giving back.
That's true. And all the people that I have had the opportunity to be around and been a part of, and hopefully I'll be a part of their lives, I haven't had the opportunity to go back and tell a lot of those guys and girls. And it's my mom and my dad, my wife, Kim, Nikki, Zoe, and my son. What they mean to me, how much they've been there for me, and I'm hoping I'm always there for them. But it's huge, and we believe very much in our family. My wife works a really good job out there at the university at a language school, and I call abuela and abuelo. Her boss, Eva and Thomas, are like they're family. They're like my aunts and uncles. But that's just how we are, and it's just amazing that things have gone the way they are, and we've been able to be around such fantastic people and hopefully share parts in their lives too.
Oh, you become an amazing role model.
You said it there, and of course the show is being recorded, much to your chagrin, Ricky. I don't even know what a chagrin is, but we're recording this for posterity, so we'll be able to get a copy of this, and that's the nice part about this too.
That's right.
This little endeavor as we continue to go forward and record more stories and hear from people like Ricky in the community. We get to record that, and USF has honored us by partnering with us in a sense, and they're housing all of our shows on their website, so on their server. So into perpetuity, these stories will become part of the fabric of the Tampa story. And Ricky, I kid you not, there's a screenplay there, brother. There's a screenplay, and believe me, when I go home now, I'm going to do some research.
He's going to write one,
and I'm going to try to find some dirt on this guy, because you know what I mean. He can't be that good. He can't be. He's too big. Of course he is. Of course he is. That's why we love him. Hey, we've got another call.
How
Let's
about
see
that?
who's on. And by the way, there is a line open, so if you want to call and you want to speak to Ricky, 813-977-6800. Hello, Dory is standing by. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Mario, it's David Benito calling.
Hey, David Benito from
David.
Tampa. How are you?
How are you, sir?
Good, thank you.
Good. Really great show. And wanted to, first of all, congratulate Ricky's Cardinals for getting back in the Final Four.
There you go.
I haven't beaten Michigan on Monday night.
Oh, all right now.
Especially with the inspiration they're going to get from Kevin Ware.
Yeah.
With his injury on Sunday.
Pretty horrific injury, by the way. We didn't want to talk about it tonight because I get queasy just thinking about it.
He gave us. He's such an inspirational young man. But what I want to ask is, do you think that Kevin? Does he think that the one and done rule has kind of, to a certain extent, deleted the talent pool for any sustained runs for teams in college basketball?
In the tournament, Davian, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, with it, generally in college basketball, it seems that with the one and done, that teams aren't able to get sustained runs in the tournament and have 3 or 4.
Meaning one loss, like knockout games.
Yeah.
Like one loss. Ricky, one and done. Good for the game, or would you like to see more round robin tournament
What I was asking is the new one and done rule for that college students have to be in college 1 year before they can apply for the NBA draft.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I digress. I misunderstood.
confused
Now, do you
No problem.
you hear the question?
I hear the question.
Okay.
You're saying that should players be able to go earlier than after doing only 1 year, or?
Yeah.
A little later, because it seems that
Go later.
with the 1 year that they can't, that teams really
The schools
can't
don't get a chance to sustain.
A perfect example is what happened to Kentucky this year.
Mm-hmm.
They were, they won the championship last year, and this year they lost in the first round of the NIT.
That's
There
right.
you go.
And it just seems that they really can't, teams, if a really good player comes to any team, they know he's only going to be there for 1 year, so they can't really get a sustained.
Good question. Good question.
Yeah, you make a very good point. I think they should make it a little bit longer.
Minimum 2, maybe.
Minimum 2. But as being a young man myself, and you look at the type of opportunities that a guy like the gentleman over at Kentucky had, for him to stay and to know that he can earn that type of money and risk an injury like Kevin, it's kind of a difficult choice. But I think it would do them better to stay at least 2 years. That way they can get a better understanding of what's around them, possibly mature somewhat, and the opportunity should still be there.
Good question, David. Good question. We hadn't thought about that tonight. That was a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Give us that lucky bolita number, man. And did our Rays ended up dropping the game today? Because
Yeah, unfortunately, I did caught the tail end of on the radio.
yeah, we left the house to come to the studio, and we saw where they had tied it up, and then and promptly the bullpen gave up 2 more runs in the next inning. And that Cap Davis, man, for the Orioles, I don't know what they're going to have to do to stop him. Maybe tie his shoes together or lock him in the closet or something, man. Because I think he was 11 for 11, had 32 RBIs, and it was a 3-game series.
Wow.
Where that guy came from, I don't know.
And speaking of Rays, I can't. It's counting down the days. So
Oh man, listen,
That's
tell all your
right.
friends. Tickets still available.
everyone.
I'm going to see if Ricky wants to
Come
join
out
us
and
with his
play.
family too, because we'd love to have everybody there
Yeah.
for that. To be quite honest with you, it's going to be amazing. I think as we get closer, it's going to ramp up and pick up more momentum.
More steam.
And it is Mother's Day, but don't let that stop you. Bring your moms to the ballpark. It's going to be a great day. Thank you, David. Give us your lucky
Thanks.
bolita number.
is 46 available?
46 is available.
46,
We
yep.
just made a Jim Carney sandwich because he's 45. Leroy Staley's 44. Jim, you're going to have to hit it on the head, brother.
And I think he deserves a bell for that question.
Yes, he does.
Very
There you
good,
go.
David.
Thank you, David. We appreciate you.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Take
Bye
good
now.
care. Darling, do you have something you need
I
to say?
believe it's time to announce that we are at that moment where
Oh.
we have 15
Wow.
minutes left of the show.
That's how you got your name, baby, and
See
don't
how
you forget
fast it goes?
That's
Told you
our
it would go by
15
fast,
minute
didn't we?
drill.
Right. Wow.
Look at that. Boom, boom,
got more
boom.
pictures, too.
Hello, Dory. Yeah, we got some more pictures,
Yeah,
do we?
we do.
Let's go ahead and show a couple more while we're here. We've got picture number 6. We hadn't shown picture number... Oh, have we shown picture number 5 yet? We did show 5? We must have been talking right through 5.
And-
Yeah, let's go back to 5 for a minute. Oh, we did see 5. I remember we showed that when Leroy was talking to us. Now look at that. That's you standing inside the Jefferson High School gym.
That's right. Yeah.
What's going on there, man?
Well, I'm demonstrating that I can pretty much barely almost touch the rim
Yeah.
standing flat.
Wow.
Way to go, Rick. Way to go. And I had to jump with all my might to get to the bottom of the net, man. Just to get to the bottom of the net.
And might I say, you still do.
Ooh. Give her a bell ring for that, Ricky. Go ahead. There it is. Man, oh man.
That's funny.
You wanted a friend like Ricky when you were in high school, man, because you say, hey, Ricky, I can't reach the top of my locker, man. Can you help me up there? Because I think somebody threw my pen up there. Good stuff. And that next picture, look at this one.
I like
Tell us about that one.
This is me when we played over in Sweden. We spoke about Sweden earlier, and I got a chance to play in Sweden during the holidays after I had played in Belgium. I played with an old teammate, a guy by the name of Pancho Wright, who played at Louisville. I
remember that name.
I was in between a situation, getting ready to choose another squad, and Pancho called me up. We got with his coach, and we got a chance to go up to Sweden, Kim and I, for about 3 or 4 months. And when we got there, it was dark, 24/7.
Yep,
Oh,
and stayed
no.
dark.
And stayed dark.
Yep.
So it was a bit of an experience.
Yeah.
Snow everywhere. It was beautiful though
Mm-hmm.
when it started to change in April. And that's me just demonstrating that.
Great photo.
How long did you play overseas?
I played overseas for 17 years.
Oh, my.
a long
17
time.
seasons.
Okay, now let's
man.
try to put that in perspective. He played overseas for 17 years. That's a long time
That is
to
a
be
long
running up
time,
and down the
yeah.
floor.
Tell me about it.
But you were having a ball. Their season
Yes.
isn't quite as long there.
No, it's not long at all. You sign a contract for about a year.
Okay.
And then you wind up playing 7 or 8 months. And in the
Okay.
other few months, you're doing different things for the club or for the city. And hopefully you get a multiple year contract where you don't have to go out and find another job.
Did you learn a foreign language while you were there? Come
Sì,
on now, I passed
davvero.
that question.
Io parlo italiano abbastanza
Oh.
bene.
Wait a
How about that?
minute. That
How
Bella's
about
getting a workout today. That means if Kobe Bryant walked in here right now, you two can parlay a little bit of that Italiano.
Sì, sì, no problema.
Wow.
Well, you go to
Is
Festa
there
Italiano
anything
this
this cat
Sunday.
can't
Sì, parlo
do?
italiano.
That's right.
Et je parle français un petit peu aussi.
Oh,
Wow, a
Vous y
7-foot brother speaking
Man.
French. That's cool, but when you're there for that long, it becomes
great.
a survival skill.
It
you better
does.
learn a little bit about
You
it.
absorb
You
it.
want to, but it's amazing how many people who come back and go like years and years after time who don't really pick the language up. I didn't realize that I had a thing for language.
You had a good ear, huh?
You do,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
There
So
you
speak
go.
it very
Having
well.
grown up in
West
West
Tampa.
Tampa,
Spanish,
hanging out with my friends, it taught me a lot of
Being able to
language.
say café con leche
Con
properly.
leche, con la rrr, and
There
all
it
the rest
is.
of that. It helped me a lot to be able to speak the language and distinguish
Yes, yeah.
from the other things. But I tell you, all those things kind of make me who I am today, and I wouldn't change a thing.
It's a great
What a great
package.
experience.
Great,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Great
yeah.
package.
So your passport was punched from all these
Which
exotic
was your
locations.
favorite place over
Good
there?
question.
I have to say the Mediterranean. I got a chance to play in Israel. I played in South America, Russia, Greece.
What a great
But
experience.
the best I would say would probably be Italy and France,
Yeah.
Spain. The Mediterranean was fantastic.
I think I'm going to work
good
on
food,
that
too.
screenplay
Oh,
tonight.
fantastic.
Food is
gosh.
fantastic.
Okay, I think I'm going to work on that screenplay tonight
What a wonderful career.
because the truth be told, That's a pretty amazing story.
That
It's
is.
still unfolding.
I didn't
Ricky's
realize.
still a young man. Come on now.
Thank you.
So let's
We have another
let's
call?
put it in perspective, because I'm not old. And
No,
you're not that much
no,
older than me.
I'm
Okay?
not.
All right, let's go to line 4 as we come to the close of another amazing Tampa Native show. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Larry the Hog Rodriguez.
Oh, no way it's not. Hog, is that you?
Well, Frankie Quetter's the one that told me to come watch this thing today.
Oh, okay, that's for you, Papa, because I know you're a first-time caller, Larry, because I know you well, and I hadn't heard from you before, so congratulations and welcome to the show. Look at who's here with us, man, Ricky Gallen.
Yeah, remember, he was called the Gentle Giant because when he walked down the hallways, he had to make sure he didn't step on anybody.
Yeah.
And duck to get into the hallway,
He is a gentle
right?
giant.
Oh, he always ducked to get into the door.
And that was just to get his afro in there.
Oh, yeah, listen, and it was great to watch him play basketball. I remember one game, I think it was Chamberlain. Matter of fact, that's where I coach at now, softball.
Right?
And, you know, I think the score was 72 to 70 or 70 to 68. And Ricky scored 52, 54 points.
Yes.
We talked about it at the top of the show, Larry, and you know, you were there that night, you never forgot it. It was just amazing. All you needed to do was get the ball to him, he'd turn around, nobody could stop him, boom, in the basket. It got almost comical after a while. After a while, I was like, wait, this is funny.
And sometimes he wouldn't jump because I remember he used to tell us, I didn't want to step on nobody. And, hell, just step on him. Who cares?
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Hey, Larry, who told you about the show tonight?
Frankie Cueto.
Oh, Frankie Cueto, the mayor of West Tampa,
That's
man.
it.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank. We hope you're out there watching too, and give us a call sometime as well.
Yes.
Wait, we're coming to the close of the show, Larry. But before we get you out of here, can you give us your lucky bolita number? We want you to win tonight, brother. Your first time caller. 1 to 75. Your lucky
75.
number.
26.
26 for Larry
It's
Hog
open.
Rodriguez. You remember Larry?
Yeah, I remember
Who
Larry.
doesn't remember
What's up,
Larry?
Larry?
Here, Larry, I'm just going to throw it out there for your consideration. What we remember most about Ricky, the gentle giant, Ricky was tall, is tall. What we remember most about Larry Rodriguez, besides his glasses, he was shaving by the time he was 12. I'm just going to leave it there. And the wonderful...
I played in the Little League World Series, but here's another question for you.
Okay.
Pop's real name, you remember the day when we were practicing out there and Sylvia came yelling and screaming and everybody knew was Amaderio.
Eddie, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we ran.
Well, you had to, because it wasn't proper to be doing those things at that time. Larry, thank you so much for your call.
Well, man.
Call back again.
Call back again.
Thank
We're
you,
here
Larry.
every Thursday. Thank you, Papa. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cuídate. We got another caller on.
How about that?
And Frank Cueto's
you know,
the-
this happens. We're coming to the close.
Yeah.
We just got the 5-minute call in our ear. We got to do a bolita drawing. Say
Yes,
goodbye
so
to our
much.
fans, but we've got to get this caller. Last call of the night. Caller, you're on the air. You're our last caller tonight. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Truby Johnson from Barrico, Florida.
Did you say Truman?
Truby.
Truby.
Oh, Truby. Hi,
Hey,
Truby
Truby.
Johnson. How
Welcome
are you?
in.
I'm doing just fine. How are you all?
Truby, have you
good.
called this show before?
No, I was just flicking through the channels and then I see my friend
Wow.
Ricky Gallen.
This bell has never been rung this much before, and Ricky needs to know
my
that.
God.
He has inspired people to get up off the
Yes.
couch and make phone calls.
It's a world record.
Oh, okay.
That's great.
Actually, I just wanted to call in. I know he don't need no character witness, but I'm from Copper City, and he was the first person that made me feel like Copper City meant something. I mean, he came through Copper City, and he was like a celebrity to me, and my cousin, Solomon Johnson.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank him for that. And one more thing is, he's never changed. That's really the reason why I called. He never changed. Ever since we was little, he got me about 3 years. But ever since we was little, he got the same smile. He's always been kind, and I just love him for that. So I just had to call just to say hi to
That
my
is
friend.
wonderful.
It's awesome.
Hey, that's
Thanks
awesome.
a lot,
That's
man.
so
God
much.
bless you. Take care.
God bless you too.
Truby, thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for that call. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a highlight,
That
and what we
was,
refer
yeah.
to weekly as our goosebump moment.
Well-
because Truby was just channel surfing, man, and he
How
saw
about
his
that?
That
great
was so
buddy.
nice what he said.
And you know what? The whole show
remember.
tonight is a highlight.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because
it is.
there's
I've
been
never
so
rung
many
the bell that
highlights
much.
tonight.
Ricky, I've never rung the bell that much, and I'm stingy with my bell rings. Man. I don't just give them up. What did I tell you before the show
You
started?
told me. You told me.
I said, people sometimes ask me, man, I want a bell ring. Ring it for me, man. No,
But
you
that,
got
that,
to earn
says,
that.
that says a lot about you, Ricky,
We
as
got
well.
Larry to call tonight.
His calls.
Roland called from Miami. Truby
A lot of
called.
first-time callers tonight.
Oh, that's amazing. We got another caller there.
We
But you know
better
what?
do our
We got about,
bolita
3
drawing.
minutes to go?
Yeah,
3.5 minutes to go.
We didn't get his bolita number, Truby.
Truby.
Did Truby give us his bolita
No,
number?
no, I don't think so.
Truby, if you're out there watching, and we hope you are, If you'll call us right back real quick, we're going to assign you a number. Maybe we'll let Ricky pick it for you.
Okay.
Let Ricky
Good idea.
Yeah, let's
pick
do that.
Truby's number.
22.
22.
22 for Truby.
Okay.
22. How nice is that? Ricky, we got about 3 minutes to go. We're going to get to our drawing real quick because tonight's winner is going to win a complimentary bottle of either infused balsamic vinegar or olive oil, courtesy of Joe and Son's olive oil. It's a lot for me to say it once.
Yes.
And you've got to go down there to claim your prize, and we're going to let you know how to do that. Ricky, before we get to the Bolita drawing, is there anything that you want to say before we get out of here? Just look right into that camera right there, number one, and tell everybody what you want to say.
I'd just like to say, I think what you guys are doing here and what you put together is amazing. It gives me a feeling of nostalgia going back, thinking about some of the things that happened in the community, city of Tampa, and you make us proud of what you guys are accomplishing, and I just wish you guys all the best of luck, to you, to the city, what you're doing, and I'm so glad you're reaching out to so many people. And say thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
There,
much.
It's another highlight.
One of many more. Yeah, another highlight. And ladies and
Highlights of
gentlemen,
highlights.
I know.
you should know that we did not put the big fella up to that. Okay?
No, we did not.
I'm not beyond putting him up to that.
No,
but we didn't.
he is not.
Thank you. I thought he was going to say something. And I love my wife and my kids.
Oh, I
and
do,
wanna
I
say-
do.
Okay,
I do.
okay,
Reach in
okay.
them
Ricky,
early.
reach in there, and pull one of those out, man. One lucky winner tonight.
Let's
Here
see
we go.
who we got.
All right, baby. It's closest to without going over.
Okay.
Help me out. Without
What
going
is that?
over. So.
31.
31.
30,
Okay.
29, 28.
So that means 27.
Yep.
Ronnie Martinez.
Congratulations, Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie, attaboy, Ronnie, attaboy, Ronnie. There you go, Tampa Fire Department's finest. Good job. Get over there to Joe and Sons right there on Beta Bay, excuse me, between Himes and McDill, and walk on in there and say, my name is Ronnie Martinez, and I watch the Tampa Native Show. All right, how much time we got left? A minute and 20 seconds.
Flew by.
What a
tell you.
show.
Didn't I
Sure
tell you?
did. You were
Didn't I
right.
tell- Now,
You got
can
something.
I throw this out there for your consideration? Would you come back and do another one later?
I would consider it on. Yes, I would.
Great.
All right.
That'd be
all right.
awesome.
We'll figure out a best time to bring Ricky in, and we'll do a follow-up show, and maybe we'll just let him tell us what, he can drive the conversation that night, or we can do a little research before the show, and Ricky can have some things to show us and give us more conversations, and by that time he'll have many more stories to tell us, I'm sure. 45 seconds to go?
Well, yes.
Where has the time gone?
I know. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
Ricky.
It
Thank you
has,
so much.
really.
The pleasure's
You
all
made
mine.
it a great show.
Yep.
No, thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
What an honor.
So
All
honored
right.
to be here.
Cups, everybody. Cups,
Let's do it.
everybody. Well, 30 seconds. I can talk for
Hurry,
30
go
seconds.
fast.
But trust me when I tell you this.
Stop.
I just want to say that on behalf of Hello Dory, who came in tonight to answer our phones, we love you, Dory. Thank you.
Thank you,
And our
Dory.
technical director, Eric Cups, always at the controls and switcher. Tampa Steve, the 15-minute girl, the one and the only irrepressible, irreplaceable Ricky Gallen. I'm Mario Nunez. Salud.
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 And happy,
Happy
days. We
days.
love you, Tampa.
Yes, we do.
See you next week.
Back when we were younger and everything seemed new, we used to have a lot of fun, yes we did, no matter what we do. Sleepy days, long summer nights, going anywhere we please, with love that I could call my own, love that I've always known, the city that I call my home, a home from which I never roam. This love affair was meant to be. I love her and she loves me. I remember Tampa, oh, she remembers me. She remembers me. I remember, yeah, yes I do. Oh, I remember, yeah, me and you. I'm a Tampa native, Tampa native, can't you see? I will share my story with you to preserve its history.
All right now, don't forget, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on TBCN, home of the Tampa Native Show.